In this video, we're going to look at topic 4, example 1, where we rewrite literal equations. So we're told Janet wants to calculate the time it takes to earn a certain amount of interest on a principal amount and an investment with simple interest. What equation can she use? So here, they give us a description. They tell us a formula is an equation that states a relationship between one quantity and one or more other quantities. So in this case, we're talking about simple interest. So we can use the simple interest formula, I equals PRT, and we could solve for T because Janet's trying to calculate the time. So if you had we don't actually have numbers we're going to plug in here. We're just looking to isolate specific variables that we might be looking to solve for later on. It will make it easier once you have the numbers that you need. So the formula I equals PRT is a literal equation because letters represent both variables and known constants. So if I just have something like, A plus B equals 5, I don't really know what A and B are, right? They could be anything, they could represent something. But there are specific formulas, think like Pythagorean's theorem, where you have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's a literal equation when it's a formula that's kind of standard across the board that everyone is pretty familiar with. So we're going to take the equation I equals PRT, and what we're trying to do is we are trying to solve for T. So I want T by itself. It's actually a pretty easy solution here. What I'm looking at is I'm looking to get rid of the P and the R, and to do that, all I need to do is, since all of this is multiplication on the right side, it's P times R times T. To move P and R to the opposite side, I can just undo that multiplication by dividing. And remember, whatever you do to one side, you also want to do to the other. So I'm left with I divided by PR is equal to T. And now I've isolated T. We solve for T. So if we were given the interest, the principal, and the rate, I, P, and R, we could easily find T just by plugging those numbers in. So we could say T is equal to I divided by PR. Right. Most of this section, what you're going to be looking to do is rewrite literal equations where you have a formula and you're just trying to isolate a specific variable. It might have been P, it might have been R. In this case, it was T. So just use your rules for solving equations, where instead of like adding 5, you would subtract 5, where you're undoing operations, doing the same thing. It's just this time it's going to be variables and only variables rather than a lot of numbers that you're moving around.